Call of Duty fans, we had a good old reveal last night. There was an extensive one. We got to see plenty of play from Cold War. And that's something I'll delve into the second half of the video, but once again, it's every single video I put out within hours is outdated. So fast everything is happening right now. And I think it's going to be like this, and then we're going to see a period of quiet, hopefully, for the sake of the continuity of the video. But at the same time, I think we're going to see that period of quiet, and then it's all going to explode when we're going to get some announcements. But let's delve into what happened last night. First of all, we're going to go into some drama, because we love to see it on the timeline, don't we? Let's be honest. This one, not so much, though. I think this was... I don't want to say shady, but maybe it's a bit out of line. So Assault commented on a Reddit thread. I didn't actually see the original thread, but I presume it was about Scraps and Wuskins not making it onto a roster so far based on the rumours. There's a reason they are off London and don't have offers. They don't take their job serious and chuck scrims to play Warzone all the time and only care about how good they play. Again, there's reasons they don't have offers. Reddit doesn't agree. Reddit doesn't agree. A lot of people were pretty pissed about this, and of course Wuskin went into it on Twitter as well. We'll go through some of his tweets, but this was one of the ones that came in, dirt on my name, just putting in more time than anyone else. Shit's crazy, and that rumor has probably cost me a starting spot for Season 2 in the CDL. I really can't believe it. Let's delve in to what Wuskin was saying. Obviously Scraps is in there as well, talking about all of this, but here we go. This was him delving into it. Assault bro, before you make assumptions like that, DM me and ask me. We never had a choice in the Warzone tournaments bar one, so it sounds like London or the ones that are forcing them to make sure they're streaming and getting in these Warzone tournaments. Makes perfect sense. Brad's stream has been popping off, and if he wasn't playing as much Warzone, it probably wouldn't have been. Bar one, and it was with Tfue, so I mean, with Tfue, you're obviously going to jump out. You know, it makes a lot of sense. Don't say I didn't care when I was the only one who cared, you fool. This guy cannot be serious, surely. So then he obviously gives the context to that one. And yeah, he's not happy at all. Let's have a look up through the rest of it. And it's just saying, people must hate me and my bro about we didn't care. I just built a franchise while streaming all year. This guy don't know fucking shit, let me tell you. And honestly, I do believe that these two are hard workers. Obviously, we don't understand what goes on in terms of scrims, etc. People missing them. I think all teams are pretty guilty of it to a certain extent. So I'm not gonna like jump in on here and say that, you know, Assault is talking shit, or whether, you know, Wuskins and the London team had missed any scrims, but I think it's harsh to necessarily blame it on one single player. But we'll jump into a little bit more of what went on, because there was tweets going around. So obviously you can see that Slasher came in saying it's not about that. You don't build your brand during practice time unless your team agrees on streaming scrims. I don't know if what I've heard is true or not, but it's unacceptable to your teammates. Assault then tried to back himself up, saying, bro, London literally chalked 6 scrims with us leading up to champs, and every time it had something to do with Warzone. Fellow then said, you were going behind their back spewing the idea that that they are oriented around Warzone and uneducated. Undedicated. If you are defending that, I don't know what to tell you. Whether I went overboard or not doesn't change the fact that their team told us it was because of that each time. I think a few of them were mandatory for them, and I get that, but I'm telling you, not all of them were. I know we weren't the only team dealing with it either. And he said, so that's on me and Matty. This was a problem for our whole team, but you make a Reddit post about me and Matty on the title. Shady. And I think that's the point, isn't it? I think if he turned around and said something specifically about London, just sort of say, okay, well, London were bad on in terms of turning up, you then negate that blame away from even just the players. You can then blame that on coach. You can blame that on management. Which, I mean, is still, you know, it's not necessarily as bad, though, as blaming solo people. Like, blaming the twins, I think it's a little bit out of line for me. It is a little bit out of line. I think you say London haven't been turning up because of such and such reason, even if it was Warzone, but I don't think you go start naming names, especially in this period of uncertainty for a lot of players. I think it's not shady, but I mean, look, it is, but I think, you know, people are looking after themselves in a certain respect. There was another post on here as well that sort of does make sense, and I feel as if it really has rang true. We'll not go into all these videos, and one that did come up, though, about Assault. Shitting other pros and ruining their reputation, less competition for CDL spots, nobody wants to team with you because you're being toxic, and I think that's true. I don't think he's actually done himself any favours here, Assault, so honestly, I'm not too sure how he thinks that one's gone for him. However, there was a Wuskin deleted tweet that came up on Reddit as well. I didn't see this till this morning, actually, saying, Rocket, I'll say for free, bang, mine line. And people talking about the rosters and how it's come up. I mean, Rakira are a team who are really still trying to figure things out. We're not too sure what's going on with that roster. There's been a couple of rumours, of course, but that wasn't the only drama on the timeline. Kenny came out against Dashi, and I sort of, you know, I figured that something would come out about it because he hasn't had the best time and haven't had the best relationship throughout the year on this team. Let's just have a listen to what he actually did say.
Who the fuck said Brandon benched himself? Who said, who made up this lie? I'm mind blown. I'm mind blown. People actually think that. And like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect Brandon or anything, but capping on our team saying we hold him and that he's glad he's off the team, like, ooh, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there is a lot longer video of that on Reddit. I think there's the full 15-minute section where he talked about it, but then it sounds like they're not happy with how Dashi's went with them as well. I don't know. You'll never really understand the full situation. Kenny does try to break it down, and it sounds like Dashi necessarily didn't cover himself in great light. He's now off that team and on Huntsman though, so he gets an upgrade if you like. And I think that if you're Kenny, that probably hurts a little bit to see him move into such a prestigious organization and of course a very, very good team. If you're Kenny, that one probably stings a little bit after everything that went on with Optic throughout the year. But of course, I don't think we even seen anything coming out of Dashi on that side of things. But let's delve into some of the changes that did come through. Speaking of Kenny, they are back on Optic Gaming with Slasher and Draza. We thought this one was coming. Information coming soon from them as well in terms of who's going to be joining that team. Of course, there has been rumors that Draza will not be on there. It's been rumors of Priester, etc., etc. So interested to see what happens to that one. But just shoring up a lot of the rumors that were coming through. Royal Ravens, again, this is just shoring it up once again to confirm that Shawnee will be staying us throughout the CDL season. Honestly, it is. God, this is one of my favourite images that came out of last year. Shawnee, I'm really happy to see him on a good team. He's a really, really nice guy as well. And yeah, I'm just happy about it. I'm just trying to be seeing some of his tweets where he was happy about it. He didn't really... Oh, here we go. Happy to announce I have signed for Season 2 with the Royal Ravens. Can't wait to get started next year. Starting from the bench to get here and couldn't be more grateful I worked hard for this. That's it. I mean, look, he's another player who had a really decent time of things, obviously, in Black Ops 4 with Reciprocity. Worked his way up, got his shot on the team, played very, very well for the Royal Ravens throughout their time that he was on the roster. He was fantastic, especially in Champs. He was really, really good in, obviously, the tournament before that. So I'm really happy for Shawnee that he's got himself in that spot, and I'm intrigued to see which way they go with that roster. Obviously, there is rumours of continuing with Dylan, bringing in Alex. Curious to see who they'll pick up as a fourth, but there is a lot of different options out there still. Let's continue to move on. The Toronto roster looks to be confirmed as Methods, Bans, Cami, and Kleenexes. Adam Ganu Grazen has been tweeting out. I think, as far as I'm aware, he is actually one of the investors. Ownership of Toronto Defiant, Toronto Ultra. Yeah, okay, so it makes a lot of sense. So he's been tweeting this out. I mean, it's one of those things. If you're Ultra, you're like, mate, come on. You should be tweeting these things out. But either way, confirming what I thought to be true, to be honest with you. It was always looking likely that Methods and Bans will probably stick, unless this is strong arming them into it. Who really knows? And then a few updates from Crone. I did tell him that he needs to stop doing these so late on in the day. Oh, let's not make a joke about coronavirus. All right, okay. A few updates. Until Apathy is on Gorillas, so let's see what happens to the Gorillas. Gunless is likely on Seattle and New York on Ferro, but so does Florida. Let's have a look at the little image that he has put out, although we can't really have a look unless we zoom this bad boy out so you don't see my face. We can't do that until it doesn't. So you can see on the side of the screen, it's actually zoomed everything else out, but not that. It's Twitter, come on. What? Either way, have we got it? Are we there? I'm not pressing anything here. Either way, let's just keep the... Let's keep the image small. Let's get back to where we were. Yeah, come on now. He's a poor YouTuber. FaZe is looking like a BC Sim Celia Monsters. Empires are looking like Hook, Shotty, Elite Crimsix, as expected. Huntsman looking like Envoy, Scum, Dashi, Formal, as expected. Rokia, Priester, Attach, Major Maniac, Accuracy. That was the rumor that's been going around. Gorillas, Vivid, Apathy, Silly, Assault. So the Silly side of things, it was looking like Looney was going to be something to do. Oh, that was with Surge. Gunless, Octane, Looney, Pristini, looking like Ultra are being confirmed. LA Optic is looking question mark on Draza that he could start. Insight looking like he could be coming in Ultra as a substitute. There's so much going on, but Paris Legion, he's looking like he's really went with Pred and Hydra there, so that I think having one would be good for the Paris Legion. I'm not too sure about two brand new players in here, but it looks like things are starting to get pieced together. Let's delve into the reveal of the game. And just some of the tweets that were following it. I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm not going to sit here and go through some different footage from everybody else's perspective and break it down from that respect. I'm going to look to what's happened on social media after it. These are some of the tweets that we do love to see. We're going to have a look at more of Tony's tweets very, very shortly. But saying, early feedback on Alpha has been great. I'm hearing that about Slag cancelling from the pros. Please know that just after this build was made, we fixed the slide cancel abuse case that is being discussed. Beta will have more appropriate slide case penalties and oh so much more. We love to see this sort of thing. It's not just about the fact that they're changing it. That's fantastic, don't get me wrong, and you know what, I'm going full screen for this one because I want to go on about it here. It's such a far cry from what we've seen in the previous game in terms of the communication, in terms of what they're willing to do and how they want the competitive community on side. These guys were tweeting about watching champs and so excited to see what happens, and we got some of the designers from last year at the beginning of the year saying that esports ruined Call of Duty. I mean, black and white at this point, isn't it? Let's be honest. There's no grey in between. Treyarch are very committed to the competitive scene. It's, as I said, look, if you're a big guy within Activision, the competitive scene is important. It's not as important as the sales figures and going towards the main user base, which is just a casual player. I understand that. However, it's nice to see that they are recognizing information the pros are bringing to them and communicating that, whereas communication in Modern Warfare was poor, and the devs didn't seem to be that keen on pushing the competitive agenda. However, this sort of shit, we love to see. Let's have a look at some more tweets from Tony as well. He did drop some other information as far as I was aware. Of course, putting out some secretive tweets about some sort of stuff. We sort of heard about rumoured league player sort of things as well. We did see some other information that was coming out, not necessarily from Tony, but there is a World League. Am I going to try and bring this up again? You can sort of see it past my face. Hold on. If I get rid of myself, then we can actually watch. Bang, gone. But you can see it. There it is, just below where my camera would be. But we're back to it now, and I'm curious if that actually removed it on that one. It didn't. Now you can see it. Now you can see it. God almighty. He's a bad YouTuber. He's a bad YouTuber. This would never happen at Rab's channel. It would never happen at Rab's channel. But either way, it looks like the World League is going to be in there. Message of the day sort of coming up anyway, but it's important that these sort of things are in there. Something to note as well, I'm not going to bring the video up because it's pretty low quality by the time you get to this point. If you look up on JP Krez, he used to be the analyst for the COD League in terms of helping out the casters, in terms of statistics, etc. Now he's obviously over on New York, but you can notice from when he pulls up one of the, I think it must be the artillery to call it in, and you notice people are spawning out on the other side of the map when there's a hard point. Fantastic, which is what we love to see. Treyarch have always been pretty solid on that one. I'm not going to delve much further into the tweets necessarily, but honestly, from my point of view, I was super happy with the reveal. Everything looks pretty sound. I'm not keen on the idea of attachments, I'll be honest. That was my one thing I heard, and I was like, holy shit, no. Like, I would imagine that wildcards are going to be banned in competitive. That's pretty much a standard sort of thing. Another thing that a lot of the community was stressing out was the kill streaks and how that they don't reset on death in terms of your progression. But it sounds like the higher kill streak you get, the quicker you can get there. And it sounds like for the really good ones, it takes a lot. I mean, we did see Scuppy dropping a chopper gun, and there's some interesting clips on Reddit of Tim the Tatman getting very, very angry. But overall, a lot of positivity on the reveal. I don't want to delve too deep into everything from that sense because I haven't played it myself. I'd rather have hands-on and be able to sort of distinguish how good it is myself before I delve into it based on other people's gameplays and opinions. I think that's more than fair, and you don't want to sit here me ripping Drifter and Teep and Scump's YouTube videos to then go over them. We don't need to do that. The game looks nice though. I'm very, very excited for Cold War. As far as the drama goes though, keep it coming. Honestly, we love to see these sort of things, although I do have sort of an affinity towards Wuskins and Scraps, and I really, really like them as people, and I hate to see that sort of thing come towards them. However, I hope it does figure out for them, and they do find some teams. I think they will. I'm interested to see which way a lot of these rosters are going because they really are shaping up. Please give the video a like. Let me know what you thought about the Cold War reveal as well, and were you convinced as I was that it's going to be a good year? I think it is. The maps look pretty good. Of course, we've seen a lot of big ones, so maybe can't really judge on that too much, but Miami looked pretty decent in fairness, and a lot of the pros weren't necessarily complaining about it from what I seen anyway, so interested to see which direction Cold War goes competitively. Nice to see Control back. We might not have to play Domination. I think that should be the case as well. Is VIP something that we're interested in? Probably not realistically, but Control back in is obviously a positive. Let me know about the drama as well. Which side do you lie on? Do you think Assault is right to call them out? Do you think that Wuskins is right to say that it's pretty shady? I'm agreeing with Wuskins on this one, but more drama to come, more rosters to be announced very, very shortly, I would imagine. Keep it locked in here. If you subscribe, we've got plenty of information and Call of Duty content coming to you over the next couple of weeks. We will see you for those videos. Catch you then.